Mate, I used to be a wrestler.
Did you?
I ran a wrestling show.
Good morning. Christmas is over. Happy New Year. Just getting back to work. Done my first full day and about to head off to the brewery in about 10 minutes because we've got a special visitor. Evening time, done the DigiKey thing, knocked off, come down here to do a few things because the Great British Beer Crawl is in town, and although we're not open, he's going to pop in and say hello. You may have seen on Twitter, I think it was, or whatever it's called, or Blue Sky. No, it was Blue Sky. I've bought a new tank. I know, got no room, have I? But I need a bigger conditioning tank to carbonate bigger volumes. That one in the corner behind the bar, behind where you are now, it's a nightmare, honestly. Getting it piped through, all the way through here. I can't do it when there's customers in. It's a pain in the arse to clean. It's coming out and it's going back in there. It was a good idea to have it in there as like tank beer, but I'll probably get a small half barrel tank to do that with in there, I think, which I can move around because I can't move that, it's too heavy. Anyway, so we've got an 838 litre, I'm looking that way because that's where it is, 838 litre pressure tank that's tested at 45 psi and will work at 30 psi, which is perfect for carbonating beer. What that means is a full brew in the big tanks. I can basically transfer all of it. We usually get 818 to 850 litres in the big tanks. So we can ferment it out, transfer it to this as a secondary, and then carbonate in there. Currently, I'm only able to carbonate half of what's in the tank, so it stopped me from doing things like a lager or a Belgian blonde where I perhaps wouldn't want a casket. Now we've got the capability to keg the lot and not worry about cask. As mentioned, folks, Dale is here from the Great British Beer Pub Crawl. Great British Pub Crawl, not Beer Crawl.
Come on, you can edit that bit out.
It's on the screen.
The Great British Pub Crawl, here we go.
On there, down there. And he's on his way back from a mega session in Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah, 29 yesterday I did, 29 pubs.
29 pubs. He looks great on it though, doesn't he? Look, no red eyes or nothing. And on his way back, he thought he would grace us with his presence. He's done a bit of a tour around Middlewich today to visit some of the local hostelries, most of which you've probably seen on this channel before. Where did you start? I
started today at the something lock, not the big lock, because I'm doing that next.
Lock.
The King's Lock. I started at the King's Lock. What a great pub, lovely people, great pub. One of your own beers on in there as well, I noticed.
Lost and Dragon.
Yeah, very nice to see that. But yeah, lovely pub, lovely people. That beer garden as well. I can't imagine a better place to sit out than having a beer in the summer on that canal.
100%, yeah. They've got a great space at the back as well with a marquee, so there's music events as well in the summer. And actually when we have the Boat and Folk Festival, or Folk and Boat Festival, never quite sure which way around to say that, I would definitely recommend coming back because the town's heaving and it's got quite the atmosphere for a few days. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So then you've worked your way down the canal towards us.
Yes.
Couple more to go.
So we're going to the big lock. We've got to go back to the Legion because that didn't open until 4 or 5 o'clock. So I've passed that by then. It's the bane of my life when places don't open until 4 or 5 o'clock. So I've got to go back to there, and I'm going to do the turnpike to finish off Middlewich. But it's a very nice little town. This very lovely people. You've got loads here. You've got a good selection.
Agreed. It's a great community here, and they definitely love beer. So we found just the right spot here. So thanks for coming and taking a whiz around and see what it's all about.
Thank you for having me, mate.
Enjoy. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. What's your favourite beer so far? No pressure.
Honestly,
it doesn't have to be one of mine.
Honestly, 100% is this. This American Pale. This Get Lucky is absolutely phenomenal. That is right up my street. An American Pale is right up my street. That is an absolute belter.
Perfect. Enjoy. Good morning. Saturday. I think it's the 4th of January already. Meanwhile, in here, we're all reasonably tidy after the last open day. We've not really set it back up into warehouse mode yet. I'm going to do that in a bit, get the tables folded away, and we can get some of this crap, well, actually not crap, is it? Some of this necessary stuff back in here until the next open day when we'll move it all back again. My little pump truck stopped pumping as well, unfortunately, over there, a little yellow thing under the pallet. I've got to continuously pump it to keep the pallet off the ground, so obviously something's bust. But it was cheap, so Not complaining too much. You will notice another tank. This, I wish I had a banana for scale, but it's 838 litres. It's decent inside, I don't know if you can see that. Needs a clean, but it's pretty good. It's a very similar construction to the other tank in the other room. There's a bit of paint on it, which I'm probably just going to leave on now. And it actually came originally from Whitbread. And I'll show you the sticker in a minute. There's a sticker down there that says, only to be filled with trophy best bitter. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. So I'm going to fill it with probably Get Lucky, maybe a lager. I don't know, because this is going to become our conditioning tank. And the size is an interesting point, because 838 litres is more or less what we get out of these when we're racking, minus the sludge at the bottom. So we should be able to ferment in one of these and then transfer the entire contents to this one, carbonate, and then can keg from that, freeing up the other fermenters for the next brew. So a really good find, and you won't believe what I paid for it. It's got a pressure rated plate on it. It's max pressure 45 psi and working pressure 30 psi. So at any temperature we're likely to have in here, with a little bit of cooling attached, I should be able to carb to a nice level of carbonation. So today's job is to work out where the bloody hell to put it. And I'm not exactly full of little areas to use, but unfortunately the fridge I got off Dave, which he kindly donated about a year ago, it frosted up massively. I didn't know what was going on, so I was trying to pick the ice off the back, and I got a very minor electrical tingle from the plastic surface inside, and when I noticed it's got a split in the back of it where it's probably temperature related, so I'm not comfortable with having that running. So it's unplugged and empty at the moment, so it's going to have to go. But it served us really well, and thanks Dave for, if you're watching, I know you don't really watch these videos, but if you're watching, thanks for giving it to us. I think it had been in Dave's garage for a few years as well, so just a shame we've only got a year out of it, but that's got to go. So that leaves that little space there, and I'm going to try and get it in there, I think. And then what we'll do with regards to fridge space is, Fanny, the fridge over there, is the door seals have gone on it and everything, so I think that's our next purchase, will be a double fridge at the back, and then we can use one fridge for everything. So I've been to Screwfix. No, I haven't. I've been to Tool Station, and I bought some bits so we can start to get some cooling, a cooling coil wrapped around that and taped down nice. And then I think up the top there, I've got a whole load of insulation board, so we'll try and wrap it in king span type stuff, just to keep the cool in when we're running the cooling. Anyway, I'm just gonna have a play around. I'm also tempted to take this tank back out of here. I mean, it looks pretty in the corner, but it's a pain in the backside to fill. So if I can make room and it looks all right, I might stick them together there and use them both as brite tanks. A quick shuffle around, and I think that's going to give us just the right spot for it there. It does mean these kegs are pushed over a little, but we can still get in and out, and they're still on the pallet, so we can slide them out of the way if we need. But I think that should just fit in there, just on the red bit. But first, we've got to get the cooling stuff around it, so I'm just going to grab that out of the car and we'll start taping it on. Right, this is what we've got. For this stuff, you need this stuff. It's foil, aluminium foil tape. I use it for loads of things. Most of the breweries held together with that stuff. Bought a new adjustable pipe cutter because I broke the last one. And 25 metres of 10mm copper pipe. I was tempted to go 50. It's only 60 quid a coil, so it would have been another 60 quid. But I know, because I use them, and I put it on, I think, or at least replaced it, there's about 50 on those. Sorry, 25 on those. So and I can get those down to temp, and they're not well insulated. So if I insulate this well, 25 meters should be enough. We can always put more on if not. Right, let's give it a go. Get a bit of a pig's ear with this, but what I'm trying to do is just loosely coil it round so it's the right diameter. Then we'll adjust the position of the coils and tape it flat. Okay, as a first bit done. So we've bound this 10mm copper pipe, unfurled it and rolled it around and just taped it down as tight as we possibly can to the outside. Now, I know there'll be some physicists among you who will say, I wouldn't have put it on like that, I'd have put it all at the top, I'd have pulled it up all at the bottom, I'd have gone up and down with it. Yeah, you're probably right. I haven't studied the physics, but that's how I've done the other ones, and it works. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just purely by coincidence, I guess, the length of the pipe and the circumference of the tank, the input and the output, or the output and the input, are basically both right together, and weirdly, at the back. So perfect, actually. Actually, not quite at the back, are they? They're sort of on the side, but they're in a reasonable spot. So that's wound around now. I have got some more resistive heat tape coming today, which will allow me to put a spiral around the base of the tank. So if we need to get a little bit of heat into it, we can do. However, I don't see any circumstance where I'm likely to need to heat this tank, he says. Remember that for when I do need to heat it. Because it's really only going to be used as a brite tank, so I just need to keep it low. It's going to be chilled because fermentation will have finished. If I need to do a diacetyl rest and raise the temperature for a couple of degrees or whatnot, I can do it in these two. Well, actually in the left one, this doesn't have heat in it at the moment, but that's why I've ordered the additional tape. So we can raise temps in these two and this one actually. So I'm not going to bother. It's a waste of 60 quid. So far we've used the best part of a reel of tape and 25 meters of copper pipe. Now we've got to go salvage some Kingspan now to just wrap it. It's going to look ugly, I don't care. Good old Kingspan. I had a ton of it up there from when we built the cold rooms, all in tiny little pieces. I've just been up there, lobbed it all down. But I did find some full panels, 4 altogether. So what we've done so far, just to avoid me going buying more, I mean, we may as well use it. It's going to be hidden under this foil jacket anyway. If you look carefully, there's some score marks or crosses every so often. And you can score along these and then crack it a little bit just to allow it to curve. So that's it so far. I told you it wouldn't be pretty, but it'll do the job. 50mm Kingspan, that is. That's just one wrap around so far. Where the copper pipe is, you'll see I've put a little John Guest, in my own shadow. Let's go this side. A little John Guest elbow. Come on, focus. A little John Guest elbow to bring the pipe work out. That'll do for now, just so I know where it is. We'll do the same at the bottom. And I've just taped it into place. Where we've got cracks here, I'll fill those, probably a bit of expanding foam. Just squirt it in. There's a big gap there, got to deal with that one. But the rest of them are pretty small. And actually, the gap doesn't go all the way to the end anyway, usually. So with a wrap of thermal bubble wrap as well, I think it'll be fine. Right, I'm just going to do the bottom half now, And I've got to think about how to do the top, because that's where most of the heat gets lost. Just thinking maybe triangles or something. Stick them on. Right, it doesn't have to be perfect. As I said, I've just been scoring it with this scraper basically. Just going about a centimetre all the way down. And then if you just happen to position this on the end of something, you'll find, if I can just grab it properly. I've not got enough arms. Well, there's one I prepared earlier. There you go. You just give it a slap and it will slice. Should try it anyway. Ta-da! We have the entire circumference wrapped in 50mm Kingspan now. Not sure what to do about the bottom, but heat rises, doesn't it? So I might just leave that for another day. Or I'll do something with the dome at the top now. And I'll have a separate piece on the lid, I think, but just to sort of cover as much of this as we can with the remaining Kingspan. We've got a few bits left. Might be enough to cover it, I don't know. Yeah, it should be enough there, I think, just in pieces. So I've got to work out what the right shapes are and see if we can get it on there. And then I've got this bubble wrap cover, just makes it look a bit neater. And once that's done, we'll push it back into the corner there and see how it looks. I forgot to say, it's a bit messy, this stuff. Anyway, this is how we're looking. So the body you've seen, what we've been doing is just putting square sections on the top. Obviously it leaves triangular gaps, and then using the scraps that we've got over just to fill the gaps, and then we'll tape it all down, something like that. So it does look a bit kind of blocky, but once it's wrapped in the bubble wrap, you won't see that. Don't know what to do with these little windows though, if I'm honest. I do need to have a little peep in there from time to time, so I don't want to cover them up. Might have to just have a temporary little piece that we just plug in the hole, maybe. Don't know. Think about that in a minute. So I'm about a third of the way round. I've got pretty much most of the bits on. Just need to get these gaps filled, tape it down, and then make it look tidy. Right, my microphone has failed, so hopefully you can hear this. It doesn't sound too different. Last piece, last triangle anyway, and then we can tidy up a little bit. So there we go, like that, and then just tape it over. Job's a good one. Well, I certainly know how to make a mess, don't I? Right, it's freezing cold, 0 degrees, the snow's about to come. Tank is wrapped, bubble wrapped. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Just got the lid on loose for now. Get another piece of insulation over the top of that. We can mount the carbonating rig to it, the pressure gauge, all the tri-clamp bits and bobs. Find somewhere for the gas bottle to go, probably right there, I think. And then we've got a carb tank. I just need to get it pressure tested and we're away. Right, I'm not tidying this up now. I'm going to leave it because it's cold.